It's never a good start when I'm having to direct you to an apology video. What's happening, guys? It is Matt here from Sophisticated Obsession. First of all, before we get into the video, I would like you to actually just go to this apology video that I have made. Awkwardly, because of lockdown and because of Liverpool going into lockdown, I haven't actually got any of my proper recording equipment, so sorry if the quality of the videos that I'm going to be churning out are a little bit rubbish. Also, sorry about the sounds. The sound is absolutely awful because it's just echoey and just a bit bleh. Finally, I'm sorry if I'm not going to be as consistent as I usually am, purely because this is my mum's place and I'm actually just lucky enough in the fact that she has then said, I'm going out. And so I was like, thank you. We've got a good relationship, really. And so because of that, we've then been able to actually get on and do some filming rather than having her in the background where I'm going, can you please be quiet? Because, yeah, that's pretty much impossible from our family. So the Labo City Exclusive event is over. It is over, it is done. Hopefully you have managed to then get your hands on a City Exclusive fragrance, one that you maybe have had your eye on for a little while, or maybe because of the current climate, you can't actually get over to that city to then get your hands on that fragrance. So in the Labo City Exclusives, there are 14 different fragrances to choose from. If you haven't done so already, check out the video that I did previously where I actually talked about all of the fragrances and I put them into my rank order. Now, if you just go ahead and watch that video and then just assume, oh right, he's just then going to be purchasing like his favorite scent, you might be wrong. So just FYI. So there are quite a few fragrances to get through, so I don't want to waste any more of your time with this introduction. Let's get down to business. First of all, I'm just going to go through the fragrances that I just don't really like from Labo, and we can just instantly then discount those. So first of all, Musk 25. It's very, very musky. It's very powdery. It's very dusty. It's just not for me. I'm just not about that life. We're moving on. I did not purchase that one. Also, in the same sort of vein, Aldehyde 44. It still had that powderiness, so I was still there going, oh, this just isn't as fresh as I'd like it to be, because notoriously I go for fresh citrusy scents. I did like the more soapy element to this fragrance, but again, it just wasn't for me. I wasn't purchasing it. Finally, this one, I wouldn't say I dislike the smell, it's just I dislike the way in which it acts. This was Gaiac 10 from Tokyo. Loads and loads of people absolutely love this scent, and I haven't got anything against you because actually when I sprayed it on my skin and I smelt it straight after I then sprayed it, I was going, do you know what? Yeah, I can get on this. I understand why. But then it would just disappear like after literally 10, 20 minutes of me spraying it. And I was just a bit like, why would I purchase this scent when I'm barely gonna smell it? It kind of annoyed me about how just rubbish the longevity of this was, but also I just couldn't justify the price tag. So those are instantly 3 fragrances that have been knocked out, but how did the other 11 do? So the next thing that I had to think about were, what fragrances did I think would get on my nerves and people around me? Were they just gonna sort of like say, you are really bugging me from just being around and that's not your personality? There were a couple of fragrances when I was spraying them and I was smelling them that I was going, I like this now, but I think that this could either give me a bit of a headache or it could just get a little bit on my nerves and I'd want it to then develop into something different. So I've got 2 fragrances that sort of made their way into that category. The first one was Begarade, I think you pronounce it. This one was from Hong Kong. This one is very, very soapy and citrusy. And I like the citrusiness. I like that sort of soapy, almost detergent-like smell, but I just felt that it could then get a little bit annoying after a little while. I put it on my skin, and when I was testing it out, I was going, yeah, this is quite nice. But actually, after I was then getting the full sort of longevity of this, I was going, oh my God, just go, leave, just eject yourself from my skin, please. The other fragrance in this category, which is the total opposite, this one was very dark and it was kind of spicy. This one was Kur, and this is from Dubai. Again, Kur, I think, just had a very spicy quality, which was very intriguing at the start, but then after a while, I was just like, do you know what? I just need to get rid of this because it's starting to give me a bit of a headache. I do like this one, but there is just something about it where I go, I think that this is going to get a little bit annoying if maybe you're wearing it to the office or you're wearing it in a very close environment. So that is why I did not purchase those two scents. So next up, we now come to the fragrances that I actually really liked. I really liked these scents, and I thought that these were the best out of the City Exclusives to my personal preference, okay? The next two scents, I felt that they were amazing scents. They just didn't last long enough for my personal taste. Now, the longevity to fragrances is kind of a contested issue because everybody is going to be different. So the first one, which I really liked, but I was actually quite surprised at how much this disappeared on my skin. This one was Benzoin 19. Now, I actually did a review in Benzoin 19 where I was then spraying it, and I was actually anticipating the scent to be a really long-lasting scent. But actually, ironically and embarrassingly, after I then switched off the camera, I then probably had about an hour after then using that scent, and it pretty much died. It did last a good sort of 3 or 4 hours, so it was all right. It was just, it could have been better for the notes in there. Another fragrance which really did die a death, this was Lamette 37 from San Francisco. I love this scent. This scent is a perfect middle ground between citrus and masculinity. Unfortunately, the longevity was awful. So I could not justify the enormous price tags to these scents to then purchase that fragrance. Next up, we come to two fragrances that I didn't really have anything against. I did like them. It's just, I kind of already have them in my collection, so I wasn't going to purchase them again. So the first one is Vanille 44 from Paris. Now, the reason why I didn't purchase Vanille 44 is because I've got a very close counterpart, which is Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. I've got a kind of a love-hate relationship with this one. Sometimes I really enjoy this scent, and then sometimes I'm like, ugh, no, get away from me. I've got this one in my collection. It's still going strong. I wasn't going to purchase another one that smells very similar. Certainly not at the price tag. So the next one in this kind of subcategory was Tuberose 40 from New York. This smells incredibly similar to Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford as well. Neroli Portofino longevity is absolutely awful, and Tuberose 40 was a lot better than Neroli Portofino. Maybe if I ran out of this one and I wanted to have a little bit of a change, I might maybe go for Tuberose 40, but certainly right now it's not on my list to get. So that is why I didn't get that scent. So now we get to the fragrances that I really liked. So in this subcategory, I have got one fragrance. This is a fragrance that I absolutely love, but not on my skin, on other people's skin, and it has smelt incredible. On mine, it kind of comes off a little bit fermented. This is Chicago's Bay Rose 26. Unfortunately, Bay Rose 26, I absolutely love it, but it just comes across a little bit winey, a little bit fermented, and it just doesn't really perform as well as it does on other people's skin. I really like the smell. It just doesn't really smell that great on me. Another scent that I absolutely loved, but I think that this is one that is maybe only worn in very sort of intimate occasions. I couldn't really wear it out and about that much purely because of its intoxicating nature. This is from Miami. This is Tabac. So Tabac kind of combines all of your legal addictions. It's very boozy, but it also is very smoky and tobacco-esque. This is so sexy, but I just don't think that it would work for an office setting or taking it to work, Also, I think it's a little bit too intense just to wear as a casual scent. This is an intense, intoxicating scent, and I think it probably should be worn maybe on like a date or something like that. So the next one actually just comes down to sheer location of where you can actually purchase these scents. I kind of want to purchase these scents actually in the physical store. So the first one is Poivre. Poivre is the London exclusive, and to be quite honest, if I am desperate to go and get Poivre, I can just go down the road and go and get it. I live very close to London, so it doesn't really take an awful amount of time for me to actually go and purchase this scent. I've been kind of like promising myself for about 3 years, yeah, I'm gonna go and get Poivre, and then I never do. I don't know if that means anything or if it's just me being lazy. The next scent is actually one where I love the city, and I kind of want to use this as an excuse to then book a holiday and go back to this city. This is Musterchen 30 from Amsterdam. I absolutely love Amsterdam. It is probably one of my favorite cities in the world. And I just really enjoy going on holiday there. I just think that it is such a liberal and inviting place where you can kind of have just a bit for everyone, if you get my drift. Musterchen is basically a wonderful wood note scent. The oakiness to this scent is so strong, but it's also very inviting. There's a little bit of sweetness going on, so it's quite playful. But also, I don't think that there is a moment of which this scent is not appropriate. But unfortunately, it didn't get the top spot. And so, that leaves the final scent that I then purchased. This is Citron 28. So Citron 28 I purchased for a number of reasons. If you want to look at the video which I did about Citron 28, the thing that I think you will probably notice is how emotional I got with this. Jasmine as a scent, and certainly in this concoction, brought back a load of memories from when I went on holiday with my grandparents. Unfortunately, I can't do that at the moment, purely because my grandparents are in isolation at the moment and they're shielding. Smelling this scent for the first time, it kind of then just brought up all of those really sort of raw emotions of when we would then go to Menorca and stay in a villa, and you would just have those wonderful sort of jasmine notes outside. Also, as you know, I absolutely love citrus notes in general. I love the sort of freshness to citrus, and I just love the way in which citrus then gives you kind of like a brighter sense of the day. I don't know, it's just very uplifting. The final thing, was I really going to be able to then get the opportunity to go over to Seoul? It would be wonderful to go and visit South Korea, but I just don't anticipate that this is a place that I would be then going in the near future. If you can hear that, that's the washing machine. I stupidly asked Mum if I could have a little bit of peace and quiet, and so she was like, yeah, that's fine, I'll head out. And then she set the washing machine. I swear she's doing this on purpose. I'd love to go and visit Korea. I just don't think that it's gonna happen anytime soon. For those reasons, I was then thinking, well, hang on a minute, am I actually gonna be able to then go and purchase this scent? Probably not until the next City Exclusive event. So, hence why I went for this one. And there we go, guys. Those are the reasons of why I have then purchased Citrus 28 as my first ever City Exclusive. If you have not done so already, check me out on Instagram to see what I'm getting up to on a day-to-day basis. If you've got any tips of how to succeed on Instagram, I'm all ears, because I suck on Instagram. I absolutely suck. So please help me out with that. But if you have enjoyed this video, then make sure that you go and smash the like button, and please hit that big subscribe button. And that is everything. Hope you have an amazing day, guys, whatever you are doing. Stay dry and stay safe. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.